T-Mobile to buy most of US Cellular for $4.4 billion. All right, in the deal,
man.
T-Mobile is going to get 4 million wireless customers, certain spectrum assets. US Cellular will be keeping 70% of the spectrum, and they'll be retaining over 4,300 of their towers.
Wow.
T-Mobile now has access to over 2,000 new towers through a long-term lease agreement.
What?
I want to start with this.
Wow.
I want to start with the first thing is there's good in this for T-Mobile customers. Your native network just got bigger, right?
Big
In
and
places
better.
where, typically like where US Cellular is, T-Mobile's not good. So now they'll be
Right.
better. So that's
Yeah.
easy to identify.
Yeah.
US Cellular customers, now they don't have to be stuck on native US Cellular only and then have a limited roaming experience. So now they're going to be T-Mobile customers. So for those people, it's cool. No guarantee what happens to their pricing. No guarantee what happens to anybody's pricing in the future. So that's an issue. But I think for T-Mobile, they're a much better competitor in these places with this deal.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my concern. The first thing is T-Mobile overpaid 100%. $4.4 billion for distribution of only parts of 5 states. It's not even the whole 5 states. It's little pockets within each of those 5 states.
Facts.
So $4.4 billion is way too much money for what they're getting out of this, which tells me part of this, like 50% of this, was about T-Mobile making themselves better. The other 50% is about T-Mobile sabotaging AT&T and Verizon from getting access to those spectrum assets at a full scale,
No.
right? So to me, this is gamesmanship. This is strategy. They know that Verizon and AT&T would have been involved and wanted to get involved for the spectrum assets megahertz. They should care about the 600. They should care about the 2.5. That's their business. Even the AWS, fine, right? But like them having every single band having their hands in that kind of disrupts the opportunity of each of the carriers to get a little better and all customers to benefit from it. So there's a part of me that says T-Mobile is helping themselves, and there's a part of me that tells me that they are just trying to be disruptive like they were at the C-band auction when they drove up pricing. So that's my take. I'll get EM in this first, then we'll just go down the line.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really have a whole lot of problems with what T-Mobile is trying to acquire from US Cellular, aside from the fact that they are attempting to purchase 96% of their AWS holdings and 93% of their PCS holdings.
But
The
the PCS
600
makes sense. They have those radios on the air.
it
They're up on
makes
all their sites.
it makes sense if it's contiguous with their existing spectrum holdings.
Well, they have band 25 and band 2. I mean, they have a lot of PCS.
But if it's not contiguous, that means they have to broadcast it on a separate channel, and
But they could do a spectrum swap and they could clean things up.
in theory, if the other parties are willing
seen
to
it.
do that.
We've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Just
But,
carrier I
but
get. That's all.
yeah, but your carrier, depending on the radio config of the site, if they only have a single like ALU up there that's already broadcasting their AWS and PCS spectrum in that area, they'd have to go up and put up another radio. So that's my only concern, is I don't think they should be allowed to grab that much of the AWS and PCS. The 24 gigahertz is whatever. That spectrum sucks. The 2.5 is minuscule. The 600 sucks. The 700 A block is whatever. I don't think it's really that valuable spectrum anyways. Pretty sure T-Mobile only really uses it for like NB-IoT stuff anyways. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. Band 12, 5 megahertz, good for them, I guess. The 600 nobody really cares about except for Dish, which there are going to be pops where they have all of the 600 megahertz, which I am not a huge fan of competition-wise for Dish's purposes. Like they need that 600 megahertz.
Yeah, some places they only have 5 megahertz and some places they have 10.
Yeah.
They sure could use more.
The tower, the long-term lease agreement for the towers, that's a good thing, because a lot of those areas T-Mobile has no native coverage. So,
Right.
Good for them. I mean, like you said, they overpaid. I think that their spectrum acquisition prospects are, again, very anti-competitive and done very strategically to, hurt the rest of the industry, which is whatever. But uh, I'm curious to see what everyone else has to say about it.